afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, April 12, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. A reverse aging health call tonight at around 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't worry about what the world wants from you. Worry about what makes you come more alive. Because what this world really needs are people who are more alive. Lawrence LaShawn. Quite a while ago, Osho came out with the new 10 Commandments. Of course, we know about the old ones that were made up. And the first one is obey no orders except those from within. That's huge. Obey no orders except those from within. Now imagine if the majority, or I should say when the majority of people on this planet follow this. The only God is life itself. Number 2 is the only God is life itself. Number 3 is truth is within. Do not look for it anywhere else. And 4 is love is prayer. And 5 is emptiness is the door to truth. It is the means, the end, and the achievement. 6, life is here and now. 7, live fully awake. And which I've practiced for a long time is that 8 is do not swim, float. 9, die each moment so that you are renewed each moment. That literally, of course, we're not talking literally. And 10 is stop seeking. That which is. Stop and see. Love is our true essence. Love has no limitations of caste, religion, race, or nationality. We are all beads strung together on the same thread of love. To awaken this unity and to spread to others the love that is our inherent nature is the true goal of human life. Amache. The path for this civilization is to end all suffering. Enlightenment is the moment when the wave realizes that it is the water. Thich Nhat Hanh. Just like us. We're the golden drops of the golden ocean. So, we are the God. Every one of us. There's no debate about it. I mean, you can argue with your ego mind till you're blue in the face, but that's a fact. We are the God. Now, you can see why, so much confusion, because everything, for thousands of years, everything's time has been spent on trying to convince us that that's not true. That there's something hovering above us that controls us, directs us, and will punish us. Now, it's interesting that within us, who we really are, we are supremely enlightened beings. Isn't that interesting? So, supremely enlightened beings within the body. Most of us, of course, have been seduced by material physical world and all the programming and conditioning. And all of this is housed within the body, and most of us don't know it. So we function through the ego mind, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. It's not like you go out there for 20 lifetimes, right? And then you go outside the material physical world, and you're looking for what? You're looking for enlightenment, happiness, joy, peace, bliss, contentment, tranquility. And all of that is within us. Not out there. It's within us. But of course, we've been taught to look out there. The answer is out there. And it never has been out there. Yeah, you'll pick up some experiences and stuff along the way. But that's about it. And we all experience suffering in this life because of one little thing, ignorance. Okay? Just ignorance. What it is. If you take the word ignore, add a little dance to it, you get ignorance. When we ignore the truth of our infinite being, our ignorance expands and soon transfers us into the path of suffering. And to transcend our ignorance and find spiritual freedom in our life again, the intention for a deeper awareness is needed. We must choose to welcome the most profound state of consciousness we can imagine. By simply opening up to our own consciousness, we can release anything instantly that would make us suffer. Nothing more than pure awareness is needed to transcend this illusion and rediscover the liberating truth of who we are. Each moment of our lives has the potentiality to become the most liberating, healing, enlightening experience we can handle. More open, ready, and willing we are to receive something magnificent, the easier and faster the magic comes flooding in. So it's almost like when you're ready, it will find you. Happiness, joy, enlightenment, bliss. That's something you're going to find out there. You see, like I said, we don't have to strive for it. In fact, the harder we work for it, the further it moves away from us. We just make it our priority to totally relax and enjoy our lives. That's our priority. To totally relax and enjoy our lives. Fully surrender to our real selves. Explore who we truly are, what we really want, and what our purpose on this earth actually is on a spiritual level. Life is wild, love is wild, and God is absolutely wild. Those who are wild always reach enlightenment. Okay. And now a tough challenge for us is to be open to the new and release our ego's need to be right about anything. How many times have you come into contact with other people, or you felt with yourself, you just burning desire to be right all the time? Being right can be the hardest ego trip to get off of. And yet causes a major amount of suffering. Because if the ego believes it is wrong about any one little thing, it starts feeling insecure. That you basically could be wrong about everything in your entire life. It's like whatever the mind believes is true always becomes our reality in that moment. The colored lens we perceive our world with today becomes how the world tends to appear for us tomorrow. I mean, how many times when you were growing up, if everyone around you from birth to death says that life is this hard, painful, and unfair experience, and you believe them, then how will you ever learn how to relax, let go, trust, and enjoy living in this amazing universe? How many times, right, have we heard that we must fight to get what we want in this life? We end up manifesting a very serious, challenging ride. To experience love, enlightenment, and freedom, we must choose to step over our ego and be open to a completely new experience of this life in each moment. Our inner and outer world is one massive playground. It is, it really is. Learn how to be free. Have fun within your life. Think of each new day as your chance to step on a very interesting and comical life stage. You can choose any hat to wear, lens to see through, or fascinating role you desire to play. We've all been directed, manipulated to do what? It's gotten to the point. It's become abnormal for people to just relax. No? Sit still. Be silent and alone. Now, what's the societal norm today in this very moment, now on this planet? Doaholics. Right? That's the social norm. Many people avoid meditation because they think it is boring, don't have the time for it, or feel they have failed at it, trying to quiet their mind after a few random attempts. When we realize that all of our suffering, chaos, and illness in this life is caused by our inability to quiet the mind, we will spend more time practicing being present and less invested in doing something, thinking it will take us somewhere better than being here. There's a lot of people like that. I mean, a whole bunch. Eventually, with enough time spent practicing being present to the now, we discover our real infinite nature inside. We realize we are, without a shadow of a doubt, spiritual beings. And we have everything we were looking for, and so much more. The greatest mystics in the past all discovered enlightenment when? When did they discover that they were enlightened? Just by being quiet and relaxed. Fully in the here, now. When their big awakening happened, they were not trying to do anything. This is the great mystery of life. And mastery of the mind is by far the greatest achievement mankind can ever have. The experience of being here now, feeling one with the infinite, all-powerful and omnipotent universal God force is enough. It is empowering and highly enlightening to define or redefine all those old definitions of what it means to get somewhere special in your life. See it. You look at society, not from a judgment, but from a spectator or watcher. Look at our families miss society's deep ignorant programming. When we were a child, what was communicated to you about enlightenment? Anything? Was anything ever to any of us? Zero. Did anybody have a clue what it was or how to experience an enlightened state of bliss? Nope. Did anyone ever show you how to open your chakras, meditate, or communicate with God? Most likely, everyone around you was more or less spiritually lost, and then telling you what they believed would make you happy, loved, and successful in life. They wanted the best for you, yet ended up communicating to you how to be unhappy and unenlightened through their actions, belief system, and behavior. This is why we repeat everything, generation after generation. We repeat it. I mean, just go back and think about your childhood. What do you remember was the typical standard story you were told? This is so important to connect the dots for all of us. So what do you remember was the typical standard story you were told, right? That made you feel like a failure, isolated, unloved, or a sense of separation. What belief system did you inherit from your family that created massive limits on how you feel about yourself and this life today? You may have heard some messages like, how many times have this has been played? It's a broken record. You need an education to become somebody. There just isn't enough time for that. We cannot afford that. You cannot. Blah, 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 blah. So, naturally, we're all very gullible as children. Yet, we did not become identified with our family's limiting belief system. Would we be here? See, and we've been convinced, really, really, really convinced, the moment we were born, we all received the idea that this unenlightened state of life was the norm. We all look around on this planet. You see all the insane world problems, right, on the so-called TV news, and thought that this was how the entire world operated, and mass suffering was just the way things were. As we became teenagers, we either rebelled or became assimilated into the unenlightenment system. and fall deeper into the story of separation. And the more we accepted or rebelled from our community, the greater our feelings of lack, isolation, and struggle grew inside. Being surrounded by unenlightened people was an enormous lose-lose situation. Make matters worse, we were focused or forced to attend some jail-like educational system. What it is today. It hasn't changed. This worked about 3% of our brain's potentiality. The educational system, maybe, works about 3% of our brain's potentiality. And was designed to do what? Well, designed to churn once brilliant, creative kids through a social formatting grinder so they become hard workers for the system. We were taught wonderful lies that everyone believed to be true. Like how a human life expectancy should only be 75 to 100 years old, when we really should be living a minimum of 300 to 3,000. See, these are all devices keep us away from who we are. Don't they all? They are. You know, we were told that we had to work really hard to have a home, limited energy, resources, food, knowledge, and power. We were never taught to rebel against authority, think freely, independently, or even consider the possibility of becoming spiritually enlightened. School system made it illegal to teach children how to find a deep inner connection with the infinite source. It wasn't important to learn how to meditate, heal your body through your breath, how to make tantric love, master your mind through totally quietness and stillness, enjoy all our emotions, know the infinite truth of who we are, or how to achieve absolute inner freedom and bliss. This society all around us is still hypnotizing adults and their children to believe that success is all about achieving a higher level of status, money, and career. Our poor educational system is still in its infancy and simply has never had a large dose of enlightenment, so it doesn't know any better. Now, there are many awakened beings in this world today who know the truth, that real success in this life is defined by how liberated, spiritually rich, loving, and enlightened we are as human beings. This world is slowly waking up, one person at a time. People are beginning to see that happiness is not something you can attain from striving to achieve the right income, status, career, marriage, or diploma. Striving to reach these things will only distract you from walking your spiritual path and discover the most rewarding life experience of them all. Remember, whatever limited ideas that you received from your family or school system were their limitation and not yours. This is always, see, there's another cluster mess up. How many people took on the fact that these limited ideas that we receive from our family, that none of it was ours. It was their limitation. And when we stop and give back those beliefs, we can reclaim our spiritual freedom again within ourselves. These limiting beliefs handed down from our family run deep in our blood. Freedom will occur when they are fully seen, felt into, and released from our mental, emotional body, as well as our subconscious mind. We must choose to forgive all of these people of their unenlightened programming if we are ever to be fully free. It is all karmic and nobody is to blame. They simply were not taught by their parents how to live in a constant state of wonder and amazement in their lives while doing daily tasks like changing diapers, cutting the grass, going to work, paying their bills. When we forgive them and see how they were not raised by fully realized, self-actualized, enlightened beings, we can easily forgive ourselves for the limiting beliefs, negative feelings about ourselves that we inherited. All of us can often hide from our life mission and spiritual purpose in our minds. Thoughts are safe, while real life experiences out there seem dangerous, scary, and unsafe. Life is inherently insecure because death is always potentially around the next corner. We might find it easier to not take risks and go for our big dreams in life for fear of getting hurt or lost in the wild ocean. So we don't do anything. When we only choose to stay safe, comfy, and basically dead inside our little comfortable fishbowls of old habits, we only do the things that once have a sense of confidence and security and stop growing completely. Life is this beautiful natural chaos with a divine cosmic structure. Our lives are this daily adventurous roller coaster ride that we need to learn how to enjoy. Life is meant to be fun. It's just meant to be fun because we just don't know exactly how things will turn out, do we? You won't know until the last second how you will respond to what someone says or how you'll make the most important decision you need to make. Each experience in your life is here for your spiritual growth. Each boring, exciting, or normal experience is meant to expand you, help you see and feel the entire ocean all around you now. And jump out of your safe little fishbowl, swim in the ocean of existence. It's easy to do. Simply stop thinking about your life and actually start enjoying the one you're living, feeling and breathing in the now. The less we hold, stress and fear, and worry and anxiety, and that's all held in the body, the more we can relax and open ourselves up to experiencing a more expansive, enlightened state of consciousness. So that all fears are simply emotionally contracted thoughts invented by a mind that still believes it is disconnected from the source. It isn't, never has been. It's good to know that we literally can transcend all of it. You basically face off and you discover what you're deeply afraid of. You can access any fear by opening yourself up to another person intimately in conversation, letting the other peer into you. Soon you will be able to see deeper into yourself and understand exactly what you are running from in your life. Once you know what you are running away from, run towards it and welcome it into your heart with a big embrace. This approach will dissolve any fear instantly, and in time it will be completely released from your body. The more practice you have in embracing your fears, the more you will pass through them. Easier it becomes to find total relaxation so that you can access your full spiritual connection within your consciousness. This civilization will go nowhere if it does not embrace who and what it is. In other words, go within, discover that you're the God. You go through the whole process within. Once you find out and determine what you're running from in this life, you determine it, run towards it, welcome it into your heart with a big embrace. Isn't it interesting that dissolve any fear instantly and in time to be completely released from your body? The more practice you have in embracing your fears, the easier it becomes to find total relaxation so that you can access your full spiritual connection within your consciousness. Why do you think plastic surgery, how many people are hung up on how they look? This is all societal and it's all ego-minded. How often do you find yourself moving towards replacing your negative thoughts and feelings with positive ones? How much of your life has been spent moving to heal yourself or your mind? Is it all the effort and energy you're putting into improving that you're already divine, already sacred, deeply lovable, already connected to the God source? And see, when you spend all of your time, majority of your time, continuously fixing, improving, and healing yourself, is perpetuating the feeling of what? I am not okay exactly as I am. How many people could say they're exactly wonderful with who they are? And any unconscious self-improvement habit is just another egoic disease. And the real problem is not what it appears to be. Go to the root of the matter, which is this dualistic mind, and uproot the entire I'm broken and need to be fixed emotional program. Go to the root of the matter, which is this dualistic mind, and uproot the entire I'm broken and need to be fixed. It's an emotional program. Realize that who you are is neither these negative or positive thoughts, yet the consciousness and awareness behind them. Only by pure awareness will you be able to stop the habit of trying to change, fix, and improve yourself. I believe that most of us have a handle to, so to speak, on our direction. When we remember that the mind is a limited conglomeration of ideas and beliefs about who we think we are and what reality is. It behaves much like a computer that is unaware of itself and just spits out information that was programmed into it. The mind is like a machine, so it is not conscious. The mind is a horrible master and a wonderful servant. It really is. And of course, most people, right in this now moment, are mastered by the mind. So we have a choice to train the mind so that we can use it instead of being used by it. It cannot remain in the present moment. It must keep moving with ideas that engage the past and the future to remain in control of you. That's why so much talk and effort has been put into quieting the mind. When we do that, we regain control of it. That's what we do in the quiet time of this meditation. The more we can practice paying attention to the stillness and silence that is behind the chattering mind, the less power the mind has over you, and the less you'll get trapped in your limited ego or identity. The word ego is really just an acronym for excluding God's omnipresence. Excluding God's omnipresence. Through the constant awareness of our ego, we can bypass the mind and access this omnipresent divine spiritual energy inside us. We can discover our natural enlightened state. We become aligned with the bigger truth that we are already our infinite spiritual beings who have been given the gift of a limited physical human expression with illusionary and everything's illusionary. We become aligned with the bigger truth that we already are infinite spiritual beings who have been given the gift of a limited physical human expression with illusionary challenges that make us grow. We are still trying to find some form of security by controlling our reality. When we were young, we saw others avoiding what is painful and remaining attached to what is pleasurable and believed this is how it should be. I mean, the state that's within us just shows up when we listen to our heart and stop being attached to or avoiding anything. And when we understand that this life is like a pendulum designed to swing and give us both experiences of pain and pleasure. We can transcend them both. By accepting this natural pendulum swing, we become free from being the one who always needs to be in control and running the show. And, pain and suffering are just the universe's way of telling us to let go and trust the flow. The purpose of feeling pain is not to create more suffering, yet for us to wake up, create an immediate new life change. And this change is necessary for you to evolve and eventually drop all identity with your ego trip so you can return to your spiritual source. See, we then begin to energetically communicate to this universe that we are abundant, thankful, happy, beautiful, and free. This experience allows us to expand in consciousness, deepen our connection to our infinite source inside. And it's all an illusion created by the ego mind. Being free from the illusion that we're separate from the infinite source of love, energy, and connection. We are freeing ourselves from the illusion that we're separate from the infinite source of love, energy, and connection. That's what we're doing. Right now, the majority of people on this planet feel separate and disconnected from our universe, from this universe. It is the enlightened state, unenlightened. See, when we are continuously aware how deeply and intimately connected we already are, the illusion of separation is not an accident or a coincidence. This universe is extremely intelligent. Every feeling of separation is needed so that coming spiritually home is that much more amazing. And the polarization of separation, unification, breeds a truly juicy, alive, and incredible experience of this life. And when we become enlightened, truly so, we will see the full illusion and know how to stop manifesting another experience of loss, failure, or separation again. See, we don't need anything. None of us. Comes down to it, we already have everything we need inside to experience all the love, joy, happiness we could ever desire. All efforting to get anywhere better than here is simply divine misguidance. This universe is already amazing. We are already amazing. And this moment is totally amazing. And by sitting in awe of this amazingness that is already here now, we wake up to the spiritual immensity of our being. We suddenly stop playing small, and all of our suffering, and continuously step into the vastness of our totality. The pathway into this state is a perpetual journey into the now. This wonderful yet treacherous journey involves getting to know ourselves very intimately, gently, and spiritually. And when we break free from the hard, cold, calculating mind, we realize who we truly are is love itself. We then find out our life's spiritual mission and soul purpose is to radiate this love everywhere we are. And when we know our real nature is the divine self itself, we become desireless, selfless, and effortlessly remember how deeply, intimately, and infinitely connected we already are to the spiritual source inside it all. We can't be improved upon. People who try to improve you are destroying you, and they are the real mischief makers. There are so many improvers in the world. That's why this world is such chaos. There are so many people trying to improve you. Do not allow anybody to improve you. You are already the last word. You are not only the Alpha, you are the Omega also. You are whole, complete, and perfect. Even if you feel imperfect, that imperfection is perfect. Do not worry about it. It will look strange to others if you say that your imperfection is also perfect and nothing is lacking in you. Yet the fact is that you appear imperfect not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. I'll join you in a meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Whatever is happening in this life is absolutely perfect, some mysterious way. Nothing is coincidental or haphazard. Everything is divinely orchestrated. You see everything fits together perfectly, like a giant multi-dimensional jigsaw puzzle. Your job is to see the bigger picture. Trust that all of the pieces fit perfectly together. It's so much easier to sit back and allow the universe to be in charge of assembling this magnificent masterpiece we call love, life. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight at around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our global Gaia, or our reverse aging health call, and Saturday, April 13, 2024, around 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within or outside of you.